When your 5-year-old looks at their food and declares, "I don't like this," it's easy to feel that familiar frustration. But what if your well-meant reactions are actually reinforcing their behavior? Let me show you a simple Japanese approach that quickly cuts the drama and brings calm back to mealtime. Why your current strategy fails. The 3 sabotage mistakes. We need to talk about what everyone gets wrong. The things you are doing right now, out of kindness and concern, are actually the very things creating the fussy eater. Mistake number 1, offering backup meals. I know you don't want your child to go to bed hungry, so when they refuse the perfectly good dinner you made, you cave and make them chicken nuggets or cereal. But here's the tough truth. When your child refuses dinner and you immediately cook them something else, you've just established a powerful pattern. You have taught them that if they resist hard enough, they get exactly what they want. The child's brain is learning, I don't need to try new food. Someone will always give me the easy option if I complain. This behavior creates a dependency on external management. They wait for you to fix the problem rather than self-regulating their hunger. Mistake number 2, pressure and begging. We think we are helping when we say, "Just 3 more bites for dessert, sweetie," or "Come on, try the chicken, it's good for you." This is where the control paradox activates. The moment you pressure your child to eat even gently, their brain perceives it as a total loss of autonomy. Humans, even small ones, fiercely resist being controlled. Their prefrontal cortex, the part that manages self-control, shuts down when they feel stress or pressure. Studies actually show that when parents use these pressure tactics, children consume less of the food, not more. They push back, argue, and refuse because their wiring is telling them do not comply with external demands. We want children to feel capable, and capable humans do not enjoy being monitored and policed while eating. Mistake number 3, constant grazing. This is the one that seems most harmless. The goldfish crackers at 4 p.m., the juice box in the car, or the granola bar handed over while they're playing. These seem fine, but here is what you are unknowingly removing: real hunger. If you are constantly filling them up with small, easy snacks between meals, you are removing the one biological incentive that makes children willing to try new foods. When you are genuinely hungry, even plain foods taste amazing. Your child needs to reconnect with this appetite cycle. If they arrive at the dinner table already half full from snacking, there is absolutely no reason for them to try the green beans. To fix these mistakes, we need to understand the biology behind the refusal because this isn't defiance, it's developmental. Children resist new food for 3 biological reasons. Reason A, neophobia. This is the scientific term for the fear of new foods. When you try an unfamiliar dish, you feel hesitation. Your child feels that times 10 because their brain is hardwired for survival. They're not being difficult. They're acting completely normal. Reason B, the control paradox. As we just discussed, the moment they feel pushed, they resist. They want ownership of their behavior. Reason C, missing appetite cycle. Without genuine hunger, the body has no reason to overcome neophobia or the resistance to pressure. You might be thinking, okay, I get the mistakes, but how do I actually stop the refusal without causing a huge meltdown? That's the question that keeps us watching, right? We are going to move on to the simple structural principle that completely solves the control paradox and the issue of backup meals. But first, if you are nodding your head right now, because you realize you've been relying on backup meals and pressure, hit the like button. That signals to me that this information is helpful, and it helps this video reach other parents who are also stuck in the kitchen feeling defeated. The golden rule and palate training. The core of this method is built on 2 simple structural pillars that reintroduce calm and predictability into the meal structure. This is similar to how high-structure systems, like the Japanese concept of shitsuke, which means teaching the body, rely on predictable routines to cultivate self-regulation from the inside out. We apply that same thinking here. The routine itself is the cue, the one family, one meal rule. In this approach, there is one menu at dinner. The parent's job is clear, and the child's job is clear. This removes the opportunity for negotiation. The parent decides 3 things: what food is served, when the meal is served, and where the family eats it. The child's job is to decide 2 things: whether they will eat and how much they will eat. This is the golden rule of feeding dynamics. You provide, they decide. You are not forcing them to swallow a full portion. You are simply removing the short-order cooking service. This isn't mean, it is structural and kind. You are teaching them that mealtimes are predictable and safe, not a place to test boundaries. Now, here's a safety feature that lowers anxiety for everyone. Serve at least one safe food. A safe food is something you know for a fact they will eat without a fight, such as bread, plain rice, or a piece of fruit. This ensures your child always has something they can fill up on. This lowers your anxiety because you know they won't starve, and it lowers their resistance because they know they have a guaranteed option. But we still have the problem of new foods. How do we get them to try the green beans? That brings us to the second pillar, the mandatory taste. In this approach, children are not required to finish anything, but they are required to take one polite taste of everything served. This is the language that matters, so listen closely. You respond to refusal calmly. You don't have to like it, sweetie. You do have to taste it so your tongue learns. This mandatory taste is not about getting calories in, it's about palate training. You wouldn't skip reading lessons just because they are hard. The same logic applies to food. Research shows children need 8 to 15 exposures to a new food before they typically accept it. Most parents give up after 3 tries. This mandatory taste ensures consistent exposure, which is the long game. But how do you enforce this without turning it into a battle? If you command, they will resist. You need to use a technique that engages their brain and shifts the focus away from compliance. The sensory talk technique, the how. Instead of praising consumption, good job eating your peas, which creates performance pressure, you make food interesting. When your child hesitates to taste the new food, you wait calmly, no pressure. Finally, they take a tiny bite. Maybe they make a dramatic face. You stay completely calm. You lean in with curiosity and ask non-judgmental questions. You are shifting the focus from whether they're eating to what the food is like. Here are the questions to ask. Is it crunchy or soft? Is it salty or sweet? What does it smell like? Does it taste different from last time? This teaches your child to pay attention to their food, to be curious. You are teaching them food vocabulary and mindful eating. If you watch them, they pause, they think, and they are using their prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-regulation. You are making them the agent of their own behavior. Let's look at a concrete scenario. Child seeing green beans. I don't like green beans. You, calmly, you don't have to like them, sweetie. You do have to taste them so your tongue learns. The child hesitates. You wait, no hovering. They take a tiny bite and maybe make a face. You, curiously, okay, what did you notice? Soft or squishy? Child, thinking. Soft and squishy. You, interesting. Soft and squishy. Thank you for tasting. Now, what else would you like from the table? That is a win. That is exposure number 1. They tasted it. They don't have to touch the green beans again. Next time, the green beans will be slightly more familiar. This patience and consistency, often required in structural systems, is what builds the result. Now, these 2 pillars, the one meal rule and the mandatory taste, will create significant improvement. But if you want the system to work consistently, day after day, and achieve the maximum transformation, there is one non-negotiable requirement. This is the step that most families miss entirely, and without it, the first 2 rules fail every single time. If you're already imagining the peaceful dinner table where your child tastes everything without drama, keep that feeling of hope, because the next step is the key that unlocks it. We are about to cover the biggest shift you need to make in your daily routine. The missing ingredient, the 2-hour hunger window. Remember when we talked about how grazing removes the one ingredient that makes children willing to try new foods? We are now going to bring that ingredient back. The requirement is the 2-hour hunger window. Children in high-structure feeding environments like the one described do not graze. They have predictable, consistent meal and snack times. This teaches their body to expect food at specific times, aligning their natural appetite with the family schedule. After their afternoon snack, often around 4 p.m., there is nothing else offered except water until dinner. This means absolutely no juice boxes, no just a little something at 5:30 p.m., and especially no chips or crackers an hour before the meal. If your child ate chips an hour before dinner, this entire system will fail, no matter how perfectly you follow the other rules. Why? Because they are not hungry. This is the biological key that unlocks everything else. We are not talking about starvation. We are talking about allowing their natural appetite to build appropriately. Managing mild hunger before a meal isn't neglect, it's structure. When a child arrives at the table genuinely hungry, something fundamental shifts. Their resistance softens and their natural curiosity kicks in. Their brain becomes more open to trying new foods because their body has a biological incentive to eat. Think of it this way. Using the contrast technique, state 1, grazing, the child sits down full of sugar and easy calories. Their brain says, I'm safe, I have energy, Why work hard to try these bitter vegetables? They activate the control paradox against you, and they skip the meal. State 2, 2-hour window. The child sits down genuinely hungry. Their strong survival instincts take over. Their body says, "Food is available. I need energy now. I will utilize the safe food and maybe try the other options to fill up." Hunger is the natural force that compels them toward food, overcoming neophobia and the control paradox. When you stay consistent with the routine, the child's body learns to trust the schedule. This predictable rhythm reduces resistance because their brain knows what comes next. You need to prioritize establishing this structural consistency, the same consistent schedule and follow-through that teaches children internal self-discipline. What if they don't eat anything? This is the biggest fear. If your child skips a meal, you must maintain the schedule. If your child arrives genuinely hungry and you serve a balanced meal with at least one safe food, they will eat something. Their survival instincts are incredibly strong. They might not eat much, but they will eat. If they refuse everything, you stay completely calm. You do not get angry or lecture. You simply state, "Okay, you don't have to eat, but this is what we're having for dinner." The kitchen closes after dinner and breakfast is at 7 a.m. Then you follow through. No emergency snacks. One missed meal does not harm a typically developing healthy child. What harms them is learning that refusing food gets them special treatment or a backup menu. They will be hungry later, and they will eat breakfast. This consistency is how you teach them the routines stick. You are teaching them that meals are predictable and safe, and that hunger is normal and manageable. We have covered the 3 critical areas. We diagnosed the mistakes, established the golden rule of feeding, and introduced the non-negotiable 2-hour hunger window. But how do you ensure you stay calm and regulated yourself when they start testing you? And they will test you, especially in the first few days. When they start screaming or escalating, your natural instinct is to rush in and fix it. That is the pattern we need to interrupt. We have one final, powerful pattern-breaking technique that works alongside this system to maintain your calm and keep the drama out of the kitchen. This technique is often used to stop tantrums, but it works just as well to prevent escalation at the dinner table. The 60-second calm method, pattern interrupt for escalation. When your child resists the mandatory taste or starts complaining loudly, your instinct is to correct them or raise your voice. But when you respond with control, their stress circuits activate, and they dig in harder. Instead, we use a simple technique called the pause, which is rooted in emotional co-regulation. This technique is an active, intentional pattern interrupt that resets their nervous system by borrowing your calm. Here are the 5 quick steps to deploy the pause when the drama starts to build. Step 1, lower your energy and body, 10 seconds. The instant you see resistance escalating, you do 3 things immediately. Take a real, visible breath, drop your shoulders, crouch down to their eye level. This combination signals to your child's brain, "I'm safe. This person is not a threat. They are with me." This immediately helps their fear center downshift. Step 2, silent connection, 5 seconds. You are at eye level, but you do not speak yet. You just make gentle eye contact. You let them see that you are grounded and calm. They are syncing with your grounded presence. Step 3, gentle touch, 10 to 15 seconds. If they allow it, lightly rest your palm on their shoulder or back. Your steady, calm touch sends a neurological message. This is survivable. You are safe. Often, the tension will leave their body right here because they feel seen and held. Step 4, name the feeling, 10 to 15 seconds. Now and only now. You speak, but you do not lecture or rationalize. You simply witness the emotion without judgment. For example, if they refuse the taste, you might say, "You're really frustrated right now about trying the new food. It's okay to be frustrated." When a child feels understood, the need to keep screaming or resisting diminishes significantly. You validated their emotion instead of fighting it. Step 5, breathe together, remaining time. Finally, you offer an invitation, not a command. Let's take some deep breaths together. When you're ready, we'll figure out the next step. You are staying present and moving through the emotion together. You've transitioned the moment from frantic chaos to manageable connection. By consistently modeling this calm, which is the Shietzuk principle of modeled calm as regulation transfer, you are teaching them that their impulses and emotions can be managed. You are teaching them to rely on internal awareness instead of relying on your stress and escalation. Final summary and action plan. We started this conversation feeling frustrated and defeated by the mealtime battles. We saw that accidentally teaching your child that refusal gets them a backup meal and that pressure causes resistance were the main problems. The solution is structural and requires consistency. Stop the grazing, implement the 2-hour hunger window before dinner. This is the fuel that drives the entire system. Implement the golden rule. The parent decides what and when, the child decides whether and how much. Serve one balanced meal with at least one safe food. Require the mandatory taste. Use the language. You don't have to like it, you do have to taste it so your tongue learns. Follow up with a sensory talk to shift the focus to curiosity. Stay calm. Use the pause technique when escalation begins to ensure you are modeling the calm they need, preventing the drama from taking over. This approach works not because it's foreign, but because it aligns with how children's brains actually build structure and self-regulation. It takes consistency, not perfection. Within 2 weeks, the vast majority of parents report fewer mealtime battles, and within a month, their children are trying foods they used to refuse. You are not teaching them to simply eat, you are teaching them a life skill. That new foods become familiar with time and that meals are predictable and safe. You are becoming the steady ground they need instead of part of the chaos. I'll see you in the next video.